Hey everyone, welcome back to the Todo Latino Show presented by Todo Wafi. I am your host, Rafael. I'm along here with Yobi D and Daisy Tornell. We are genuinely excited to be here. The question for today is, can you be friends or can parents be friends with their kids?
Wow, for real? I don't have any kids, but I have godkids, I guess.
Okay, so as a madrina, do you think you can be you feel like you can be friends with kids?
Well, in reality, I really can only speak in the way that I am a daughter to my mom. And I think so. At one point, you can try to be friends with them. You can try. I go out. We have lunch. We have brunch. Fun stuff, I think. But then again, your parents always remind you, like, I'm your parent,
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, Daisy, what about you?
I think you can't really be friends. Like, I think to a certain extent you can, but it's always going to be your parent, Like, I'm not going to tell my mom things I tell my friends. Like,
yeah.
It's just like, and I don't hang out with my mom like I do with my friends, but I mean, I think it's
You don't go clubbing with your mom?
No, I don't go clubbing with my mom or with my mom. So that's what I'm saying.
There are some people who do that.
It's
I've
kind
heard.
of like a little different, but you can be friends, but it's not really like a friendship. It's more of a parental, I don't know. You have kids and you hang out with them.
I got 3 kids. I find that to be very difficult.
Really?
For me, yeah, because for me, it's like, it's different. Like when you go to your friends, you talk about certain things, and depending what type of friends you have, like you can have friends who hold you accountable, or you have friends who are cheerleaders.
Yes.
There's 2 different types of friends. The friends who are cheerleaders are always enabling your dumb shit. Okay. And then the friends who are like holding you accountable put you to a standard. So like, and as a parent, like we try to be as close as we can with our kids, but it's tough because you're at the end of the day, you're still a parent. Like your sole purpose in life once you have your kids is to be able to provide wisdom and guidance and,
Exactly.
And so like there's a point in time where, yeah, your kids all want to go free, but it never stops. Like, I don't think people get that, like from a parent side, like it never stops. Your kid could come at you when they're teenagers and have that kind of problem, and your kid can come at you when they're in college and have a different type of problem. And then when you're older and they're older and they're going through things, and then they have those type of problems. And so as a parent, you're not going to give them the same recommendations that some Goomba is going to give them. You're going to give them the recommendation you feel is for their mental health or their well-being, so to speak.
I feel like if you're friends with your parent, it almost takes away that kind of like that boundary you set of the respect. Like when you kind of let somebody step all over you, like as a parent, you kind of have to keep that boundary of like, I'm your parent. Yeah, we're friends too, but like you have to kind of respect me. I respect you. And like, yeah, you look up to your parents, so you don't necessarily tell them everything, or like, you go to them for wisdom and knowledge and learning things. So
I'm an accountability person, so it doesn't matter whether you're my kid or not. Like, I'm big on character and all kinds of stuff. So like it would be hard for like me to have like that close of a relationship with my kids, because they'll just do some shit that I'm just like, pa que hiciste esa vaina?
Don't tell me.
I will say this, and if something about me, I was raised with my grandmother, mi abuelita, and I by the time later on, I used to take her out. Like, we come out, she will have a drink with me.
Yeah, but see, doing that is different. Like, I can go out to dinner with my like, I remember there was a time where before my daughter moved out, we used to go like, gallery hopping and all kinds of stuff. But I'm not the person that my kids are going to go to when they're doing some real dumb shit behind the scenes. Like, they're just not. Why? Because I'm the person who's going to hold them accountable. Like, I'm the person who's going to sit there and say, why did you do that? When they may be looking for somebody to sit there and say, it's okay, you know what, live and learn, blah, YOLO. Like, I'm not that person. So I can see why it would be really tough for me to have that. Plus, I agree with what Daisy said. Like, there is a certain level of, like, when you become too close to your kids to that nature, you end up losing the ability to have that respect aspect of like what you are in the relationship.
There's an invisible line, yes.
Yeah. So there's a boundary there that you would love to be a part of everything, but you just can't, so to speak. And there are times where I have, deep conversation with my kids, and there are times where I'm just like, I'm not going to go in there because they have influences outside that I can't do anything about, and I'm just not going to frustrate myself to that level. So that's where the boundary
lo bueno
is.
y lo malo, básicamente.
Yeah.
That's
As
it.
long as you teach them what
they
you
have
know,
to do
then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I've done, I'm 48, and my kids, I'm a young dad. Mm-hmm. I was a single dad, so I had to deal with a lot of, and they came with me. So I had to deal with a lot of things that, normal
And you have
two
two
people
women,
housing.
2 girls.
Yeah, I got 2 girls and the son. And so for me, it's like, just in that aspect of it, it's been really tough, like trying to,
navigate
cross that
part,
like if once you cross that boundary and your kids start seeing you as like their regular friends and all kinds of stuff, it's tough because and I'll get comments from my kids like all the time. You're like, oh,
The
you
feedback.
judgy dad and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I'm 48. I'm judging everything. It's like, I'm the get off my lawn type of guy.
I
don't
raise
give a
you,
shit.
but I'm gonna tell you like it is, kind of thing.
So that's just my experience. Look, we're interested in this topic though. So if for whatever reason any of you feel like you can chime in, go on Instagram, go on our website, throw us in a comment, let us know.
Do a little poll.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know
Can
if
you be friends with your kids?
Can you be friends with your or if you're the kid, can you be, friends with your parents and, let us know in the comments and go from there. You guys notice there's like there's like a day for everything. So last January, I don't know if you noticed, like there's always like bring your kid to school day, or there's like National Cookie Day,
National Day for something.
Who created these
National
days?
Hot Dog Day.
Is it only in the United States or is it just really globally?
No,
what is going on?
And it's National Wipe Your Face Day.
Yeah.
National Buy a Flower Day.
I feel like
National Facial Mask Day.
National Siblings Day is like 3 times a year. I don't know why. Like it just, I thought it was like one time, but for
3
whatever
times?
reason,
What do you mean?
I don't know. It just seems like it never ends.
Then you'll look it up and you're like, why is somebody reposting this when it says online on Google that it's National Best Friend Day on this day?
It's like National Sibling Day, and then like 2 weeks National Brother Sister Day, then National Brother Day, then National Sister Day, National Parents Who Can't Be Friends with Their Kids Day. Like but on January 26th, for whatever reason,
it's all marketing.
They chose the one day. It's almost like everybody at the same time was trying to jump at it. So January 26th was National Fun Day at Work. I'd like to know what work you're going to.
I know, right?
National Fun Day at Work. You must be working for Google or something. National Compliment Day.
Okay.
So I wish I would have known that when I would have complimented people. National Peanut Butter Day.
Okay.
These are all on the same day. National Green Juice Day.
Daisy, did you have your green juice today? Did you?
Is today January 26th?
No.
What day is this?
We're on 29th.
Oh.
Or the 28th. I don't know.
I don't even know what day it is.
This was Friday.
This
was Friday.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
throughout
far,
the week. Throughout the week.
Change a Pet's Life Day. All on the same day. This is all January 26th.
Real?
These are real.
Yeah, these are real. This is real.
National Spouses Day.
Okay.
Because we don't have anniversaries to do with that. First of all, just a cute note. Every day should be National Spouses Day.
Oh.
I'm single though, so we're not even gonna touch on that.
Right.
I'm waiting for National Singles. Oh wait, that's Valentine's, isn't it? Never mind. National Staying Healthy Month. Isn't that like supposed to be every month?
Well, it's January month, okay?
Oh,
so
because
everybody starts. Remember, we had that conversation about resolutions and goals. So I guess they throw it in there, January. So.
But why the 26th?
No, it's the whole entire month of January. The whole entire month.
I'm looking this up. National Days.
Yeah, it's the whole entire month of January.
You need to make these up.
Stay healthy.
He's gonna look it up. You're gonna find out.
You can look it up.
I wouldn't go down the rabbit's hole. You're gonna find out there's more days.
On there. Yeah,
it is. Even if you want to really, I want to add it. Today is actually what is it? National Chocolate Day.
Oh my God.
Today is National Chocolate Day.
Chocolate cake. Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Even better.
Yes, today chocolate cake.
Oh my God.
I want to know, what do you guys think
tomorrow
about
will
these
be
National Days?
National Fat Day.
What do you guys think about these national days?
I just don't understand why we have, 1, that many, and 2, like who chose all of these on the same day? First of all, change a pet's life day?
What does that even mean?
Adopt a pet.
I'm assuming adopt a pet or something like that.
Change a pet's life day,
Yeah, that's
okay.
There's just way too many of these days. Like
volunteer. Too many.
I'm gonna create a national. Don't make it a national day. Like
don't make it a national
day.
Non-national day.
Yeah.
Do a non-national.
National Leave It Alone Day.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Oh my God.
All right, well, let's start with our headlines of the
with
week.
some chismecito today, guys.
Yes.
So I know you guys saw that Sofia Vergara's Netflix series Griselda is out, and the three of us already binge watched this, so it was really good. And she's been on interview after interview, and there's an interview with Kelly Clarkson that is actually very funny because she's like, "Oh, it was such a light makeup transformation," and Sofia's like, "What? What? No, it wasn't." Like she was so offended. But what do you guys think about her makeup, her look?
Okay, so first I'm gonna start by saying I binge watched it yesterday.
Oof.
All the episodes.
Oh my goodness.
It's one of those things where when you start watching episode 1, I love episodes or because it's a limited series.
Yes.
I love limited series that build
But you
upon
were
a character. Yeah, and this, I mean, the story of Griselda is already interesting, but Sofia Vergara does a really good job to make you empathize with a criminal. Like,
Yes.
she makes you feel for her to the point at the end where you don't, obviously. But
No, she creates like this bond between you and her as a character.
Yeah, I was
and at
into the
end,
character.
You start hating her more and more, and then at the end you're like, oh, never mind.
okay,
screw her.
yeah, whatever. Like, you know, she's just out of whack. But yeah, I binge watched them. I was up till 4 a.m. in the morning just watching all of the shows, just because we were so hooked on it. So I want to give her props because she better get all the awards that she possibly can for playing this role. Now, as far as prosthetic, Sofia Vergara, you clowning, because I'm gonna tell you right now, aside from a wig and a nose, I don't see much of a change
she
on
had
what
the
took place.
dentures too.
Maybe, but
She did.
I think she was more upset because they were sitting there having like it took a long time to put that wig on, you know, and to put that prosthetics. But when you look at the original,
the real Griselda.
yeah, the real Griselda, it's not like they look exactly alike. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they try to do their best just because of the fact that you know, they were trying to put her together. But I'm kind of with Kelly on this one. I don't know. I'm gonna get crapped on for this, but I'm kind of with Kelly. I think a lot went into the work that they had to do. But I don't think, like, when you look at her, she still looks like Sofia Vergara. It's not like they turned her into the Incredible Hulk and they had to put,
it's because Sofia's beautiful. I feel like she can be wearing a trash bag and she looks good. So, like, I mean, even under all that, she looks good. So I think it's hard to make Sofia look ugly. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'm not giving spoilers, but even when they age her, you know, after a while, and, you know, in the series, you know, you can still see, but it's just the feeling that you get from her character that you're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's like the mannerism behind her
Yes.
character. Everything that goes into the character, I think she was more offended. Like, what? Like, the transformation is pretty big, you know? But I don't
If
think
she's
Kelly
talking
meant
about
it in an offensive way.
No, Kelly is always joking around. So I mean, like their interaction on that, you know, like she clapped back, but it wasn't like a joking, you know, like a joking type of way.
But Latinas are dramatic. I think Sofia was like, what? Like, it
Yeah,
was more
like she was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody, all the Caucasians in the room were sitting there going, oh yeah, but
oh my God.
like
yeah.
spicy Latina, you know, one of those type of things. But I think Sofia was just being Sofia.
But when everybody sits down on a makeup, you know, session of special effects, you know, they take a while to do whatever they got to do.
Yeah, they said it took like, 3 hours to do the wig and like, you know, a certain amount of time to do the facial items on there. I don't doubt any of that, but I'm saying from a visual perspective, it's not like they transformed her to look like the original Griselda. That's just my opinion. That said, it didn't really matter because that show was banging. And I watched it with my kids and we were sitting there and every single episode just made us wait for the other one. Oof. We were like, no way she's going to do this. No way. Like,
I think every episode had you like, no.
The cliffhanger was really,
Her character kept doing worse things as the episodes progressed. So I think I kept getting mad at her. And then the ending just like, you know what? I'm over it.
I'm over it by that. By that point, you're just like, you deserve this stuff.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it.
You empathize with everybody else around her that was like, you know, trying to deal with the stuff. But I mean, it was just, I would recommend it if you haven't watched it yet.
Highly recommend.
Get on Netflix and, you know, start streaming it. I think it's like six episodes? So like an hour long each. Yeah. You know, make it, if you're not going to watch it like I did, where you were comatose in the morning and drinking coffee just to stay awake for the show, I would suggest that you definitely watch it throughout the week and does not disappoint. It does not disappoint.
At all.
It was amazing.
It was.
Yeah. And in other news, guys, we also have our America Ferrera, American Honduran actress that just got her first Oscar nomination for her role in supporting actress for Barbie. But people are kind of overshadowing her in the mainstream media.
I haven't heard really much about it, you know.
You know, it's very unfortunate because she did such an amazing job with that monologue. And I don't know, I think she's getting the recognition she deserves. But people are a little upset that Margot Robbie and Greta didn't get any nominations. So they're kind of speaking more about that instead of giving America Ferrera her like applause, you know? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, we made a post about it. Angel, who's one of our Angel Fabian, who's one of our newest content creators, he put it out there for people to see, and a lot of people, for the most part, I guess they didn't realize it was taking place. So Juan, who's one of our entertainment gurus and so forth, he was saying that maybe they were trying to do that in order to not put her under a bad light, just because Margot Robbie wasn't selected, and neither was Greta. But here's my problem with it: when I was watching The View, and Whoopi Goldberg was sitting there introducing these, the different nominations, it's almost as if they completely forgot that she was nominated.
Uh-oh.
Because in some of the comments of some of the talk shows, it's like, oh, out of a movie that was made, about women and women empowerment and so forth, only the man got nominated. No, like America Ferrera she's got Best Supporting Actress.
Correct. Nomination
for the film. And I feel like at one point, you can't minimize her nomination to make other people feel better. Like, right? I don't feel like that's correct. I feel like she earned that spot. The Oscars are not like other awards. They're not like, the Golden Globes or
any other People's
Choice. These are voted differently. The Oscars are like the creme de la creme. These are the what you get for being top-notch actors.
Any actor,
Will Smith through the slap won it last year. Like, I mean, it's just one of the, like Denzel Washington. You're being put on that pedestal with some of the greats, and so why would I not celebrate her during this process so that Margot and Greta can feel better? That because and I understand America's like backing this up, like she's very disappointed that the other one didn't get chosen. Yeah. She also thought that her nomination was like somebody playing a joke on her. So it was like, yeah, she was like, I thought somebody was just like, I thought it was a joke. Like I thought people were just, and so for me, like it's a Latina who's being nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a film, who created a monologue that was literally the advertisement driven or the marketing driven for that entire movie.
The essence message of the
yeah.
But they're not just mad about that. They're mad that Ryan Gosling is nominated for.
That's ironic though.
Yeah, it is very ironic. His hand role. So it's I can see their point, but I'm just like, come on, America had the best monologue in the movie.
I think Ken had to overshadow an entire stereotype. Like, and I think it is very ironic that a movie that was made to promote, how the patriarch has overpowered this, like, women and so forth, is the best actor nomination for the movie is Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, it is very ironic.
So, yeah.
By the way, coming back to America Ferrera, she's a contender with three other actresses also under that category, persons of color. So please definitely look out. That it's a notch. So let's cross our fingers for America.
Hey, I'm going for it. Like, I wish I could vote. I don't have a. You don't have a vote.
You're
in
not
the
part
Academy.
of the Academy.
I'm not part of the Academy.
I mean, I would have wanted Margot Robbie to be nominated, but I do see your point of view, and I feel like the strongest monologue in that film was America Ferrera. So I will say that, like, come on, guys, let's give her flowers. Well, she did amazing. Like.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that's it's not going to be taken well by anybody who's listening to this. The Oscars are the Oscars. Like, the people who were nominated for Best Actor, it's because they gave a performance that was above and beyond what was required for that particular movie. Like, it stuck out. Okay, so when you're looking at, like, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, you better have done, like, one hell of an acting job.
Yes. And
I just feel like everybody's so upset because there was so much hype with the movie Barbie that Margot and, I mean, I can see Greta not being nominated. I can see.
But that's another topic.
Speaking,
that's another topic.
Ridley Scott lost when he did Gladiator. Okay. And that movie won like every single category except for that one. So it was kind of weird that he would lose. To not be nominated, I think people probably saw that there was, this is the Academy Awards, so they're looking for like dramatic type movies and movies that stuck out. That's why Green Book won when nobody thought it would, and and I don't know. I think the Academy Awards is not looking at Barbie as like a dramatic sense.
There's just a long history about female directors,
That's
that
true.
have them. So just,
That's
it will
true.
take us another day to talk about all of
That would be a
that.
whole episode.
Yeah.
But I guess what I was trying to say is unpopular opinion. I don't think Barbie's the type of movie that you would see at the Academy Awards as like winning Best Picture.
Exactly.
It's like I see it in the same category as like I like the Marvel.
Any
movies
Marvel's
and,
installments.
You know what I'm saying? And that may be an unpopular opinion. I'm just saying that's my opinion. I don't feel like
I see your
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Amen. Alrighty. I'm gonna also keep on talking about a little bit of the Oscars, where we have an issue also. I'm looking forward because I saw this movie, The Flowers of the Killer Moon, if I say it correctly. And Lily Gladstone is going to be nominated. But however, there's a pesky definition. How you define indigenousness or Native American. So how you can, because we having an issue where she says, oh, she's the first Indigenous Best Actress nomination. But then we like, wait a minute. You remember Yalitza? Yalitza was the first.
That's an argument that I saw on social media.
Yeah. So in Time magazines, they define it immediately saying that, yes, Lily Gladstone is the second Native American.
And she is.
So why would they say she's the first if she's like, what's their
I think the
point?
Academy needs to do the homework, and getting this definition, because you're erasing already somebody else's accomplishment, especially, and it's best said that actually she can be named as American Indian for Best Actress if you want to go that way, through that route.
Yeah, I can see. Okay. Because, I was a little confused. So she would be the first American Indian.
Yes.
But not the first indigenous.
Or you can put the first Native American born in the United States. Also, you can go either with one of those terminologies. But when you say the first indigenous, you completely erasing Yalitza's accomplishment when she was nominated for the Cuarón film.
Yeah, I think the indigenous term is
It's, very
it
good.
puts Yalitza at first. I mean, and it's just I've seen on social media people calling out
Right?
for them to fix that.
Have they addressed it at all?
Well, I saw in Twitter,
know.
well, X, former Twitter.
Whatever it is.
I cannot keep up with these names.
X, Twitter, X.
But in a nice highlight, I want to say Domingo has been definitely spotlight, like the first Afro-Latino nominated for an Oscar. And he was raised in Philadelphia, and his ancestry is from Belizean, Guatemalan. And this guy is everywhere. When I say everywhere, it's like in the new installment of The Color of Purple.
He was in Euphoria.
And he has a great project coming up, enterprising or becoming Joe Jackson with Michael Jackson. So they're kind of working on a biopic on kind of series. So that's the next challenge that he has coming up pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
think
him. He's pretty good.
I can't wait for him to win that.
You think?
I'm hoping he wins that. I think it's well deserved. He does a great job on that. And I can't wait to see more actors of his caliber like being nominated. Because I think you were mentioning, are the Oscars still?
Yes, that's what I was going to come up and say. I'm like, with all these new, plethora of differences and diversity, are we still thinking that the Oscars are still too white? It has been noticed, it has been said, it has been commented, we have seen it. But then also in 2022, the Asian community got a notch.
Oh, they destroyed everything.
And with Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my God. It was, I loved
still
it.
haven't watched it. Is it pretty good?
It's
You haven't watched
really-
It's an interesting movie.
It is a very
every
interesting
time I
movie.
ask people, how's the movie? It's interesting.
It's interesting. Well, because it's it's weird.
Yeah, you guys never explained it correctly.
But,
I'm like, so what is-
but it's very human, human.
I'm always like, so what is
like
it about?
everything
People are
happens
like, it's
all
just
at
weird.
once.
It's interesting.
Because
Everything happens all at once.
it does, but it's just like the way they do certain scenes. They just jump into certain scenes, and you're like, why? Like, what? Why did we need that?
Like when the zoom in, like right in your face.
They're just, but it was a movie that well deserved. That I think the other one was the one before that was the Korean film.
I know which one you're gonna say.
It won for Best Picture, and it was.
But I think the Academy is doing, the new members, whoever's voting, they're doing something different in highlighting minorities. But I think, it's still a work in progress.
So
That's what I would think.
You're trying to you're trying to do your best to describe the fact that they're not, though, because they're just not. So I'm gonna, I love when we have these discussions. It's always best to bring in the statistics, okay? Because it always feels like we take one step forward and then we take steps back. So there's already a report where we assumed there was more representation for Latinos as being, in lead roles in Hollywood just because of everything that was coming out.
Out of, 330 million people in the United States, Latino community represents 20%.
Yeah.
And then out of that 20%, when we want to see ourselves in media, it's like 3.5 or 3.3, depending where you want to go about it.
Do you guys think that sometimes we don't see enough Latinos out there because they're not making enough films? They're not in enough acting roles, or why do you think is?
I think a lot of it has to do. When I was talking to Rafael Agustin, a lot of the biggest things is there's not enough Latinos creating stories. Like there's not enough Latino writers, and so because of that, there's not a lot of parts being written for Latinos in the industry. And I think that once we change that format, as more writers start writing our stories out there, we'll be able to have more open roles into different sides. So the number here it says, looking at the numbers within the last four acting categories, 7 out of 20 nominees are BIPOC, the same number as last year. So that's not an improvement. They can say whatever they want, but they didn't improve it. There's not much of a
difference there.
There was also no people of color in the directing nominations.
Oof.
A reminder that it has been 6 years since a black director was nominated for Best Director, which was Spike Lee, and that was, Black Klansman. And a black woman has yet to be nominated in the category. So, and you can't tell me that African-American or BIPOC women are not making films, because if you go to, for instance, La Leaf, and you go to a lot of these film festivals, there is a ton of movies being made by the BIPOC community. The problem is that they're not being picked up. The studios are not picking these movies up for production, whether they believe in them, whether they believe that the Latino community is going to come out for them. And so they're not willing to take the risk, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's still not represented where we want them to be.
Even though currently right now I'm hearing a high buzz with Ava DuVernay, Origin. They've been they're talking about it, but as you say, have she ever been nominated or considered?
Yeah. I mean, it's just something to look out for. Look, if you're a Latino filmmaker, make sure that you're making movies that, like Rafael Agustin says, Latino is not a genre. Make your space movies, make your fiction movies, make your drama movies, and then make sure that you're writing the parts so that you can kind of bring in the community and be a part of that and tell that story. So that's important to me, because when it comes to the Academy Awards, you're looking at all these things, and the major highlights are the ones that we're seeing.
I think Eva Longoria said something like that, was it?
I mean, look at what Eva Longoria had to do in order to get Flaming Hot in people's faces.
Oh my God, and such an amazing music.
She's nominated for the song by Becky G.
Oh, there you go.
That's a big accomplishment.
Eva Longoria had to go out on every single show and tell everyone that if you don't come out and support this movie, that's going to send a message to Hollywood that Latinos don't support these movies. And it created a whole storm because she made a giant ripple effect on a lot of these interviews, and it actually did really well. It started streaming really well. It opened up really well. They ended up in the president at the White House. It was being filmed there.
The White House was orange for a day, for a night. Yeah.
So I think that we also need to on our part do everything that we can in order to make sure that we promote our films better, because they're not doing it for us.
Do you think that contributed also for the other movie A Million Miles Away that also did really, really great? I liked it really much.
I mean, I think it had, like I said, I think her message had a ripple effect.
Yes.
For those months, but we're still not seeing the change. So when you look at the report that says we're not about 5% of the leading acting roles on there, and you're seeing the same actors being used for the same films and the same over and over again, it just shows that Hollywood is still writing roles for popularity and so forth, and for people that they know are going to sell the tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's the same kind of message like what we had for like Taraji when we were sitting there talking about The Color Purple and her income issue that she was talking about
when she was in the Rolling Press. Yes.
Yeah. So
I wanted to ask, was Parasite the movie you were talking about?
Parasite.
There you go. You came back to it.
I needed to bring it up because
she had it. She had
the
B. That movie was amazing. Amazing.
I have to see it.
So was Everything Everywhere All at Once similar to that one? Would you say?
No. Okay. Parasite was a very strong movie just because of the fact that it had a really strong message. The other one was very like Ada loopy. Like you'd have to watch it. It was
You guys
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. I don't want to ruin it for you
because Parasite was you had to read the subtitles the whole time, and I was so into that movie. Like I was reading the subtitles, but I was like, wow, this is crazy.
But we're gonna remind you and definitely let us know what you think and about the Oscars, about the nominations, and
So Bob the Builder's Latino now.
Oh boy. Talking about more
Bob the Builder.
So and it's starting with Anthony Ramos, who I love. Right. I gotta tell you, he is just popping up. And people can say, he ain't the prettiest guy in the world. But he did a really good job on Transformers.
He did.
I love the fact
that Transformers.
That was a
really good version.
First of all, it was nostalgic for me because it was like 90s Transformers. So I was like, I grew up on that.
It was back in your days.
Yeah, anything with Bumblebee. Back in my day.
Yeah, no, it was just such a good. It was a well-made movie. But it's being produced by Jennifer Lopez. So they decided they were going to create a movie about this. Ramos himself says Bob the Builder carries an important message to the screen, adding that the element of the films were inspired by his own life. For years, Bob the Builder's character have inspired young people around the world. He said a movie about friends working together, a celebration about beautiful home where they share how they love and can help to conquer any obstacle in the way. And then obviously he added a pun, can we fix it? Yes, we can. Which if you haven't watched Bob the Builder, that's what they say.
So some people are saying we already have Manny.
I don't care who we have.
I don't know.
Manny?
He's a cartoon that's a builder too. I think it's
but I think this is supposed to be a movie. I don't believe this is supposed to be an animated movie. This is supposed to be an actual movie.
I looked it up and it says animated.
Does it both?
No. Because they're supposed to be in studio. They're supposed to be showing like a very Caribbean look to.
Oh, it's gonna be shooting in Puerto Rico, right?
Oh, well, I see right here that it says plans for animated feature-length Bob the Builder film starring Anthony Ramos.
Yeah. So if it's an animated film, then what they're going to do, I guess, to the background of that is just going to be because Bob the Builder is very like generic. So this is going to have a very Puerto Rican look.
It's going to be really interesting.
Be a part of this.
I'm glad that she's actually taking on projects like this now,
right?
Because I don't want to see her in any other films.
Wedding
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I know.
I think her latest video.
I feel like people hate her wedding films so much. They want her to.
She really took upon that brand, huh?
I think that she's now at the point where she's able to now open the door. It's like our Latino Oprah, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's now in that position where she can start creating projects and creating different. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a J-Lo network sooner or later. The thing is that this woman never ages, so she's always dancing and performing and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know if she'll ever.
We're gonna age before she does. Watch.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'm definitely gonna see it. I think it's gonna be a great.
I think we all should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Support, like you say. If we don't support, then they say, "Why we're doing this?"
And I agree. We also have some Bad Bunny news, guys. Oof. You know my favorite news, but FIU. he just attended FIU, and he was brought in by David Grootman, and it's called the David Grootman Experience, the class. And Grootman is an entrepreneur, and he's also an LIV club owner in Miami Beach. But the students went crazy watching Bad Bunny come in because he had a couple of other influencers come in. But once Bad Bunny came in, everybody like fainted and passed out.
Well,
so what do you think you guys?
Kind of hard to keep a speech when everybody's out.
I know, right? It's like 400
no, but
students.
why do you guys think like Bad Bunny is a good candidate for this type of like experiment?
Bad Bunny is giving us TED Talk now, you know?
Like, you guys, last week we spoke about how Bad Bunny does it all, and now we have him being the face of a college in Miami, you know? So,
okay, so for me, I mean, who better to represent that? Like, we spoke about this in the last episode. This man does not go away. So, and he's now transcending different trends and different things. I think who better to speak upon... First of all, he's humble as hell. Like when you listen to him talk, aside from what you see in the media and his, social media and what he puts on there, but every single time that you see him as just like a regular person talking. You know what I'm saying? When he's performing, he's obviously a lot different, but in public, his persona has just been pretty steady as to how he is. But who better to give a TED Talk than somebody who's if Bad Bunny came to my school, I'm all ears.
FIU is my alma mater. I used to college there.
He's a marketing genius. Like, I don't understand why.
And he has a restaurant in Miami too, doesn't he?
He does?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be all ears.
You know what's funny? I was thinking, like, imagine you missed class that day. Like, and then you find out Bad Bunny was there.
Yeah. And then you have to pay $900 to go watch him perform from the nosebleeds section. So I give props to him because, he's now doing at a very young age what a lot of people start doing at a very, when their careers start winding down.
He's 29 now?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got like ages. I mean, obviously the reggaeton thing is going to die down as he gets older, but he's doing TED Talks and these type of appearances now.
Little things here and there.
And I can imagine security is not easy to have Bad Bunny arrive somewhere. He probably had to do that in secret.
Yeah, they say that even though some people recognize him, he had on like a mask or something covering his face.
He's not walking around just.
But they could tell. Like, oh my God, once he got there, and obviously this class is very popular, or he has it going. And the Live Club is been iconic. Yes, I went there. Yeah, the FIU has had really great things happening for them in that sense. But coming back to the Live. You say LIV, but it was Live is iconic club in Miami Beach. Everybody's there. Whoever you want to know, it's super cool in Fontainebleau. So
you would know. I hated my whole family lives in Miami, but I hated Miami. So
what do you mean? How long you were in Miami?
I lived in Miami for like 4 or 5 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. It's so flat.
What do you mean?
Is it like LA?
No. You see, that's why I love LA.
It's
so
LA, flat.
So for instance, I'm from New Jersey. And so for me, like, I love terrain, but you got to go for a while to go see the beaches and the mountains and so forth. When you go to Miami, it'll take you 30 minutes to get to the beach. But from that beach, you can see Alaska. Like, it's just, it is so flat. I could walk out my mom's house.
He's like, I can see Tallahassee from there.
I can go to US 1, look straight down and see Georgia. Like,
what do you mean? Like, you can see other cities?
Yeah, you can
see it's flat.
Exagerando.
It's flat. The highest mountain they got there is the curve. Like, it's just so bad.
No, if you see any mountain, I'm not even going to tell you.
Yeah.
You got to be there, Daisy. But
Everglades. That's probably the most exciting thing over there.
Did you did the water boat thing? The water river, the Everglades?
I've done a lot of, I've done the.
You did that?
Yeah, I've done the gator where you try to eat.
Yeah, the gator bites. Yeah,
but Daisy's like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
I haven't been, but I hope
check it out.
If you go there, I'm just gonna give you a recommendation. Go there for just a couple of weeks. Really enjoy.
A couple weeks? I was planning to go for like a week at least.
Yes.
No, that's what I said. A couple weeks. So if you go there, that way you can kind of get the vibe and relax. But aside from that, like South Beach, Miami Beach, all those different places,
popular spots.
You're young, so
Bayside.
You'll enjoy the hell out of that.
Right.
But I would go with some friends. I would not go by yourself.
Oh, of course not.
So, but yeah, if you'll stand in Miami Beach, you can see my mom's house.
All right. I'll let you know what I think about it when I go.
All right, last topic. Melissa Barrera finally speaks out about the shocking screen firing. She says in an interview with the Rolling Stone, it was shocking. I don't even know what to say. I think everything that happened was extremely transparent on both sides. I know who I am and I know what I said always came from a place of love and a place of humanity, a place of human rights, and a place of freedom for people, which shouldn't be controversial. It shouldn't be up for debate. So 2 things about this. I remember when I posted about this, people were all over me. I may not agree with her, okay, with how she delivered that message and so forth, just because, we all have different personal opinions on it. That said, she's entitled to whatever the hell she wants to say, okay? And she should not be condemned for the fact that it's her country. I mean, I believe she's part Palestinian. So it's not, I don't believe that was a good decision to be firing her because of the fact that she expressed her opinion. When there are other people who express far worse opinions in the industry, people who are leaders in sexual assault or sexual misconduct and all kinds of things in Hollywood and still have jobs, are CEOs and producers and actors. So for me, like, I think they really dropped the ball when it comes to the way they handle Melissa Barrera. And, people were saying, that her co-star, ¿cómo que se llama for Wednesday? Jenna Ortega. She dropped out. They were kind of coming up with a reason for it.
I'm so sad. I love them both in that.
Honestly, I feel like I watched the first Scream. And I think I watched the second one. I watched the first one and I watched the second one. And then I stopped watching them because I just thought the concept was just stupid.
That's Scream though.
I know, but it's just, I know.
It's not stupid. It's just Scream, you know what I mean?
No, I'm saying, like, I thought the concept was dumb because, like, it's almost like I didn't watch Friday the 13th because I didn't want to see the fact that Jason's spirit kept passing on to every single person in the world. Like, I just thought it was stupid. So I started watching it again when they came on.
You had a new... Okay.
Because I was just like, you know what? I want to check it out. And so I was interested in the second story of when they did, and then, they were obviously going into a third one. But yeah, I'm a big believer. I have arguments and debates with people all the time. The one thing I'm never going to do is take away their voice or their ability to express that.
Isn't that the whole point in having a voice?
Yeah.
And being that big? Like you're able to express your own opinion?
If we're in this discussion here and for whatever reason you disagree with me or you disagree with me on something and we can go back and forth, le llamamos todas clases cosas, and I'm like, you son of a... You know what I'm saying? Like, if we get to that point, at the end of the day... I'm going to go up to you, good conversation, anything. Obviously, this was just a conversation.
Exactly.
Like, we're not, we're still brothers and sisters at the end. And I feel like we as a society have created
the level of tolerance.
That tolerance is now like nothing. Like,
everything snaps.
Anything that you say can be held against you in a court of law.
I'm going to block you.
Yeah. And so, I hope that the directors...
With that being said, do you think that their views are gonna go down? Like people are gonna be like, screw that.
I mean, they lost the Latino community from that. I think.
Yeah.
Purchasing
Except
power.
for the people who are like just pure Scream fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're gonna lose. I think it was because of the way it was done. It was like you silenced her, and so because you silenced her, that was an issue. And so, if they had fired her for whatever other reason and so forth, that would be a different issue. But then when Jenna Ortega left that, it was done.
Man.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I continue watching Scream, but it was very disappointing.
All right, so closing out, what do you got?
So I got to go to the Maya movie premiere this week, and it was the movie was really good, and the whole experience was cool because I got to attend an after party, and I talked to some of the actors that we're going to be interviewing today. But you watched the film, so... I mean, we both did. I think you watched a little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
It was a very...
It's very, strong.
Yes,
strong
it
message.
is. I told Daisy I was got a little bit triggered, but it's a topic that needs to be addressed, especially for young teenagers and anyone that your kids have a phone, and there's a premise of a lot of people that are not nice, and and also preying upon the kids that are going through issues, so, economically, socially, emotionally, you can fall easy prey. I've heard about these headlines on some of the social media platforms,
I think if you haven't watched it, it's streaming now. I watched it on Prime there are other streaming platforms that you can watch, but definitely watch it. It's a good conversation starter in the family.
Yes.
For you to be able to talk specifically about boundaries with your kids. That said, the movie also, kind of hits on a lot of different topics about, domestic abuse and things of that nature, which kind of lead into what the movie Maya is about. So definitely watch it. It is a trigger warning. So for those of you who are very sensitive to specific topics, especially concerning human trafficking and
grooming,
domestic
grooming
violence,
and abuse,
alcoholism.
I would not watch it with younger kids.
Yes.
But I would definitely have that conversation if you have like a preteen or somebody who's, you've already given a phone to.
Yep.
So that's a huge thing. And then Yobi, what you got?
I got something really, really nice coming up. And for my women business owners, empoderistas, entrepreneurs, our page Something Latina and Todo Wafi magazine are doing something really great. We want to feature you. Yes, you, for the March edition, which will be celebrating the Women's History Month Latina style. So check out, go to todowafi.com, sign up. We want to feature your business. So dale, pa'lante.
Yeah, and I think there's different options there. So you can actually choose to just advertise in the magazine if you're interested in doing that with your business. And I think the other part is they have different options for like different features in there. So like, page spread or just a one pager. Definitely support this magazine. It's one of the, our Todo Wafi magazine launched pretty well. And this is going to be a print version. So this is actually going to be distributed.
This is exciting.
We should have the print version here. That would be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on that. We're working on that. So
Yeah.
we're actually going to print out some of the November and the December editions. And then the March one is going to be out. And then January and February are going to be, part print. The March one is the one that's going to get the most attention just because we want to really focus on Women's History Month and honor women and Latinas and really empower, powerful jefas. So
I think it's also the fastest growing, portion of business, are developing and being created by Latinas, by women of color.
Yeah.
They're really trying to be there. You guys are doing it. We're doing it all.
That's it. We've already gotten quite a few supporters on that. Quite a few different people that we're going to be showcasing. So yeah, if you're interested in being a part of the magazine, definitely jump in there. All right, my name is Rafael. That is Yobi. That is Daisy. We thank you for tuning in to the Todo Latino Show. Follow us at Todo Latino Show on Instagram and on TikTok. And to follow our videos, you just basically go to YouTube and todowafi.com and at Todo Wafi in all different places. So thank you, everybody, once again, and we are out.